Hello, welcome back to Nimi's Garden. Last episode, we started in the snowy area. What is it called? The Frigid Summit. Was it called something else? I don't remember if it was called something else. I'm pretty sure this had another name. Because I did mention something weird about this world's name. It wasn't Frigid Summit before, was it? I don't know, but like, yeah, I'm fairly certain it was something else that like just confused me a lot. Anyway, in the previous episode we got really frustrated with one of these levels, but that one's over, so we're good to go. All right, so moving on to level 6, Force Through. This is a clue level, solution by Kawasaki. So yeah, bending text is back. Hooray! We have lazy. And lazy just refers to the object being unwilling to push another object. So I can't move forward here because the rock in front of me is too lazy to push the second rock in front of me. And that rock is lazy will be true no matter what. So that means chaining doesn't work. However, if I, for example, change this rock to another object, and then I made that push, then yeah, we could chain. Pushes. I think that's what I want, because chain is one way. So I don't have to chain pushes in. And then ice is sink, right. So then I think the rock has to be the one to sink because everything else is float. So could I set an alternator up, maybe? I'm not quite sure about that. This is plain being one way. It means I kind of just have to get all the items in here. I did mention last episode that you can very easily create multiple objects just by doing this. And then yeah, with that you can now push them around separately. And then maybe that's... Yes, I think that is what I want because... Oh, don't do that. By chaining like this, I can cause only one type of object to actually turn back into rock. So in this case, I want the UFOs to turn back into rock. And this lets me set them up in a way that these rocks become very easily accessible. So only the UFOs become rocks. Now the rock is push. And with that, I can just push all of the rest of the rocks in one by one. Yeah. Okay. This was, I think, the solution in the older version of this level as well. Duplicating and then additionally... duplicating and then additionally using a very long chain of objects to position the three objects properly. Okay, here we do have a different problem though. That is, if I wanted to sync all of these to reveal the clue. I mean, it's very easy to continue just spamming objects, and I think I might just want to do that, don't I? If I had 6 objects, wouldn't that be fine? Like, sorry, not 6, but 9 objects. So like 6 wins and 3 UFOs, isn't that fine? Can I just keep doing that? So let's just do this, I guess. So let's duplicate. And the reason why that works is because the bending text creates multiple statements at once. Duplicate. Then separate. Oh crap. Hold on, give me a moment here. Alright, we're recording again. Right, sorry, had some keyboard issues. My keyboard was running off battery, so I had to plug it in to charge it. Anyway, sorry, what was I saying? Duplicate, separate, and then duplicate again. So the UFO will now become the rock. UFO on wind and rubble is stable. I actually have no idea what this statement's supposed to do. But then the rock can now duplicate and then we can separate again. And that would create 9 objects, yeah? Yeah. So that creates 9 objects. Why is this an issue? Because on the rubble, the stableness causes these guys to stay as push, right? I should go for the UFO first. So these guys stay as push forever, I think. Is that how it works? Honestly, I have no idea. I think it is how it works. Because they end up on the rubble while while the pushing rule is in effect. So I'm just gonna try this for laughs and gags or something. Or giggles and yeah. So once I do this, the stableness comes into play, and when I break the statement, it doesn't matter, these guys stay as push. Oh, yeah, well the one on the plane doesn't because the plane doesn't exist on a rubble. I think that is an issue. Because if I were to do this... Oops. And I turn the UFO into rock. The UFO doesn't turn into rock because it's stable, right. Uh-oh. That is a problem. Okay, that's a bigger problem than I thought. I just thought that, like, the wind would be pushed and then that would block us from entering. But no, it's even worse because transformations can't occur in there. Okay, so bigger problem at hand here. Transformations cannot occur here due to the stableness issue. So UFO in here stays as UFO forever. That is a problem. So why? But on the ice, this doesn't occur, right? So what happens is if I just made the statement UFO is rock, even though the UFO stays as a UFO, once that UFO ends up on the rock, wouldn't it just turn back into a rock? Sorry, once it ends up on the ice, it would just turn back into a rock, right? It should do that. Okay, so then I guess we can maybe just try the old solution again. I just need to prime UFO is rock. One more time. Okay. Don't do that. Sorry, a lot of pushing issues here. And actually, this is even easier, right? Because once I do this, UFO is rock is fine. I can just push you in and then start doing all my stuff. Why is this an issue? UFO is wind. Let's not have that be the case. Actually, it's fine because wind doesn't push or anything. Yeah, this is even easier. So that becomes a rock. It doesn't show a rock because the rock sinks immediately. The rock needs to be pushed. The rock needs to be pushed. Okay, that's another issue. So the rock needs to be pushed, but at the same time, things need to be rock. That cannot happen. Because you need us in these two positions at the same time. That just will not do. So yeah, rock is push. Can't get any more rocks. So yeah, if I prime this, the rock itself isn't push, which prevents anything good from happening. Okay, so another big problem, I guess. Okay, so how would I resolve that? Well, if UFO... Well, I mean, UFO is pushed now. It will be pushed like that forever because it's on rubble, which just makes it stable. So if I had UFO be wind and rock, I mean, that wouldn't make a difference because, yeah, you get an additional rock from that. The wind, I mean, but that doesn't do anything. See, I need rock is pushed, but that can't exist. Okay. So, I mean, at the same time here, it seems like what I want from that is... No, it seems like from this point, if there were rocks in here, I could theoretically move them individually into this area. Which means you could have rocks here that were just push and lazy. So if I could get that to work, that would also be fine. I could have rocks there. Um... Okay, here's a question. Let's say I duplicate it. I turn one of them back into rocks. Does the laziness imply a stop? So for example, we know something like still and push together will generate the equivalent of a stop. Almost the equivalent. There's some very small situations where push plus still is not equal to stop. But let's just say right now, let's try this. So if we have wind and rock, suppose we have a rock stacked on wind, and then I pushed the wind and the rock. Okay, let's do this. Okay, what happens if I move forward here? Aha, look at that, that works. And the reason why that works is the rock here is lazy, but the wind isn't. So pushing left here actually lets the wind push the rock in front of it. And then the rock, I suppose, will follow subsequently. So this negates the laziness of the... Yeah, this negates the laziness property, and I think that's all I need, right? So once I have all of these stacked, then all I need to do is just push them in. And they should just act as normal rocks, I think. Let's try. There's one. The rock, the wind will be pushed, but that's fine. And then the third one. Oh, that's a problem. I think we need to break wind is push, actually. And the stableness will make it push, so it's fine. Here, stableness is good. So even if I break wind is push, we're fine here. The reason why I want to break that is because if we have too many winds down here, we won't be able to move in. So I need to make it so that wind was never push. Once the wind becomes unstable, yeah, this happens. Cool, look at that. All the winds stack on top of each other. That's not really a concern for me. The winds can do whatever they want. And there you go, a clue is reveal. So very quickly, we've already made a new clue show up. I was pretty scared of this because I didn't know how to solve this one. I never actually made this clue happen before, so cool that we found the solution. Alright, I'm just gonna put that clue and save it somewhere. Let's move on. Level 7. Even more slippery. Right, so this is a new word. Slide. So slide is a slip, but instant. So anything moving across it will move across all of those clouds at once. And key opens lock, which is defeat. So we need to push the key in here. I can see that having something be a wall or be stopped will allow it to stop here. So for example, if I could set up the rock to be stopped here, I think that will be fine. Okay, so let's try having the key be stopped here. And then the rock will be stopped here. Actually, I might want to do the opposite. That's a problem because if that were available, even if I could, you know, retrieve all the text from this point, if I continue to do so, to like, you know, have this be here. Oh yeah, then it's fine. By having none of the objects be pushed, by having the key be intangible, I can push the rock out, right? Yeah. And now by having the key be stopped, I can push you into the correct position. Well, then we have another issue, which is how do we make it so that I can push up here? Firstly, these guys are swapped. These objects are swapped. That's not really a concern for us. We can just swap the positions of them later. But yeah, now that that object in the middle is in place, how do I push up? I need to also stop while moving across here. So that implies I need to have stopping objects. I think the text is what I need. So yeah, if I have, for example, the rock be stopped here, then I can make a statement like this, and that will let me stop here. I think that's what I want. So once I have the rock here, then what can happen is I can get the key out, I can get the key to act as a stopping object behind, and that should work. Okay, so first I need to get statements to be in the correct place. No, I just need to get one object in the correct place. So if rock is up there, no, key has to be up there, then rock, then key, then rock here. Okay, rock here. Key is push, rock is stop. Would allow me to do this. Then key is stop, rock is push. Will let me continue that chain. And then now doing that one more time. Hold on, before that, I need to get the key out. And then I need to do this. The key is in place. I can now push the rock out, and that rock can act as a stopping object. Right, I think here. No, it has to be one further back, because I want to make keys push an actual statement. So what I need from you is rock to be stopped here. And I need keys push to be a legitimate statement that's being written, that is stopped against the rock. Boom. Cool. Okay, very nice. So there you go. Ooh, an extra. Okay. That scares me a little. I remember in the original series, the slip tutorial took me a bit too long for a tutorial. And I'm going to assume that the extra is actually what the old version of the tutorial was, the really hard one. Locked in place. Yep, this is exactly the one that baffled me. Oh, alright, so now we have lost access to stop. We have still and push though. Something that's still in push, I mentioned just now, basically emulates the stop. So for example, if I had Nimi be here, if I had Nimi is push and I just pushed in some text, that would push the Nimi. If Nimi was push and still, however, it emulates a stop and lets me push something like that. And I think I want to do that. I don't know how to do it properly though. Like, I want... I want... What do I want? I want 2 spaces of buffer. So if I had Nimi is push horizontally, that would require Nimi to be about here. So that when I write Nimi is you horizontally, then that statement ends here and I can stop myself here. But how will I have that occur? Like, I suppose this, but then this would break. I can't make Nimi is push and still at this moment. And like, you know, I suppose... something else I can do is this. This... no, but if I Nimi is still now, this will be fine, yeah. No, this is like really bad though, yeah? Yeah. Even if I made like Nimi still here, this wouldn't work. Okay, so then what? I mean, I could put Nimi there. Why would I want to do that? No reason. Maybe Nimi here? Maybe not. Okay. So how about Nimi, I think a statement. Can I put a Nimi like in this column or in this column? I mean, I don't think so, because if that were the case, then Nimi is still and push is all I need to just get in there and win. I think that's actually impossible. Because there's nothing for that Nimi, like this Nimi, has nothing to stop against. There's nothing else that can be stopped besides Nimi itself being pushed and still. And that will be stopping text. So I need to use a piece of text as a buffer here, not Nimi. But that needs to occur... How? Okay, so let's say I had Nimi here and I had Nimi is... Actually no, let's put Nimi here. Let's do a bit of experimenting. Let's see Nimi was still like that. And then Nimi is pushed like that. If I had this happen, this would pass Nimi's push. Would that break the still? It would break the still. And then Nimi would not be pushed. So I assume what happens is this pushes everything across. Because Nimi is not pushed at this point, that statement hasn't passed yet. This Nimi text overlaps this Nimi. Then Nimi is pushed passes. Maybe that's fine. Maybe I can do this. Okay. No, I don't see the point in this. Yeah, I don't see the point in this. Like, I feel like potentially maybe... Yeah, this won't change anything. The Nimi is pushed and still like has to occur from here. And that needs to somehow work. I guess if Nimi was... You know what? If Nimi was... Hold on. If Nimi was here, that would allow me to push a piece of text in. Ah, but because Nimi is no longer pushed and still, I can't stop myself against it anymore. Okay, so what if instead... I'm going to do this. Let's put Nimi here. Nimi will be there, and the text I want to put in front of Nimi will be the push text. So Nimi will have to be pushed and still in this exact configuration. The push text gets stopped against Nimi. And I think that should just be able to complete all the things I need, right? I can put an is there very easily. Yeah, and I can set up Nimi is still right here. And because of that, the Nimi within the text acts as a stop object. And that should allow me to stop against it like that. Nice. Alright, yeah, this one is significantly harder. I think this is supposedly the tutorial for Slide in the past. But, you know, for very good reasons, that is, I think, considered too hard for a tutorial. So this one's the one that they used instead, which I think is a lot more reasonable. Just a peek. Let's not look at just a peek yet, we'll do that later. Alright, let's go in order. Level 8, fix the flag. Alright, pushes and pulls. That is another World 1 thing. One way again, wind is one way. Oh, we got flag being a bunch of stuff now. Flag is weak, flag is float, flag is sink, and flag is defeat. Nimi, oh, bird above Nimi is you. Plane below Nimi is you. And I want to do that, but the problem is that a skull is defeat. So if I try to move up and down here, Nimi also gets destroyed. Okay, I think I know what I need to do here. I've solved this puzzle before. Basically, while I'm slipping, I can't move in any other direction. So I need to be perpetually slipping forward. Then if I moved up and down, Nimi wouldn't change directions, but the birds and the planes will. And I think by doing that and going through this narrow hallway here, I can remove all those statements above and below me, and that should allow flag to be standable. All I need to do is somehow find a way to slip forward. And I think it's easy. There must be an extra of this, because I remember there was. an extra that I couldn't solve. We'll see how to solve that one if possible. But what I need to do is slip forward. I need to pull the ice with me, so Nimi will pull ice. And then the ice will push the ice. So the ice behind me will push the ice in front of me. And that will perpetually be slip. Yeah. And also I need to stop myself against the wall first. So the ice needs to start off here. I need to... Actually, if I were on the back ice instead, I push the ice forward and the ice pulls ice. I think that's a bit easier. So, ice needs to pull ice, Nimi pushes ice, and then ice is slip. Okay, so that should be doable like so. Okay, hold on. Before that, let's do that. Alright, let's set everything up properly. And by that I mean ice pulls ice will be the one I push into the middle. And that will create Nimi pushes ice plus ice is slip at the same time. Oh, but the ice is now in the bad spot. So I want to do this and I want to slip forward. Obviously this is bad because now the ice is in a horrible spot. I can fix that. Okay, so the ices have to be here. I think like so. And then I do this. Okay, so now I'm slipping on the ice, of course, because I don't move anywhere. I actually have movement. I can actually move around. That lets me move forward. So, you know, as I said, Nimi pushes the ice in front of me pulls the ice behind me, keeping me on the ice, and that is an infinitely forward moving machine. Because I'm perpetually sliding, I can't move up and down. So now I can move the flag up. Whoa, that's weird. Yeah, so I gain control of the bird now. Which is, I think is really weird. I don't know why that is. I get control of the plane now, then bird now, then plane now. And that's it. Yeah, we did solve this one before, so I kind of rushed through it. That should be okay. Yep, extra. It's a distraction. Solution by KO2222. So now, sun is weak and swap. Ooh, swap. Weak and swap. The weak is a problem, yeah. The stop and defeat are problems. Actually, no, the stop is not a problem. Because if sun is swap, that overrides stop. Defeat is a problem, yes. Weak is a problem, yes. So I need to get rid of both of those. Definitely. I remember this being an extra that I could never have solved. I think in this case, I actually suddenly do not want to destroy all of these statements. I want to destroy sun is defeat and sun is weak. Those are must destroys. But the other two I don't actually have to destroy. What can happen is... using text... I can actually... Well... Well... Using text I can actually push into the sun and I think that wins for me. Okay, we have another problem though. It's just that ice can't interact with ice. Ice will never be able to pull or push another piece of ice. That's weird, I guess. One thing I never explored is text slipping on ice. That could be useful. But because text also can't interact with ice, only Nimi can do that. Ice is ice, so ice can't be Nimi. The other way around works, but once that happens, I can't produce another Nimi. Sun is swap. I have no other way of interacting with the sun. Can I use that to maybe like break this statement here? The sun is win statement. Because if I set up some ice in there. If I set up some ice in there. Ooh, actually. I can't do this more than once. I can only bring one piece of ice in. I think that's all I need, actually. Because sun is swap. Oh, ice is slip. Wait, but I'm pulling the ice. I can't actually get on the ice. Hold on. The way I think I'm doing this is that if I swap the sun onto the ice, that breaks the sun because sun is weak, right? I was thinking the sun would slide, and then that would allow it to slide into this text and swap with it. But sun is weak breaks that. Okay, however, that merely indicates the fact that I need to break sun is weak. That's all I need to break. I no longer need to break sun is defeat. Which means, yes, once again, we are back to that. I guess if I could somehow have a piece of ice like here, I could push down while I'm here. How do I get a piece of ice there though? Okay, no, hold on. Could I get the ice to stack? I think the answer is yes, if I did this. And then if ice was slip, that would control both ices at once. They slip on each other, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, so all I need to do then... Well, I say all I need to do. That might not be entirely true. I will want to pull the ice here. The ice will slip, and then I'll have it not slip at this point. Meaning now I can push down like so. Now sun is no longer weak. Another thing I can do is actually, if I had the ice slip like this, I can just do this. Oh no. Wait, what? Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, this is I think for some reason slip has a very, very high priority. Because it looks like from this demonstration, U movements come after slip movements. Because otherwise I will be stopped against the ice. The slip comes first before my movement downwards. Which is very odd, because typically the U statement always starts first. That is like the utmost priority in Baba. U statements. But no, slip happens first. So that's really, really awkward. In that case, I could not follow the ice down and push down here. Okay. Instead, it looks like I might need to force this. But then I lose a lot of stuff. Yeah, I lose a lot of stuff. And of course, once I stop ice from being slip, ice can't be slip again. Yeah, I still need a lot of things, I guess. I really wonder if the swapping has anything to do. I'm sure there is. Hold on. So, I can definitely just push in a piece of text here. That will allow me to do some cool stuff like this. Yeah, but because sun is defeat, I don't win at all. I need to break sun is defeat. Okay, well I can probably do that by having text, right? Yeah, okay, so the text can actually... Okay, I see the cool stuff happening here. I want the ice to be on the top row. So, ice in the top row. Ice will stop there. Then text here stops me in another way. And the 4 pieces of text is just enough for me to bring a 5th piece of text in. So by doing this, I can break sun is weak. I can break sun is defeat. And with the last piece of text, I can just win. Wow, that is so cool. It was a distraction. Oh, that's really nice. That is really, really nice. Okay, that is actually a really cool level. So we finally solved that one. This one took me a really long time back in the original series, I think. Because I did not realize the distraction was a legitimate distraction. Alright, it's level 9. Protective Bunny. Ooh, Idle. Lazy Nudge. Okay. Carrot is Pull. Oh. Nimi melts tree and tree is Hitch. So once I do this, I cannot do this anymore. Once I do this, I have to exit. Okay. Bird is Push. Bunny is Lazy. So yeah, this is supposed to demonstrate the fact that laziness also doesn't pull. So here the carrot is pull, but because Bunny is lazy, it does not pull the carrot. It's too lazy to do so. Meaning I might want to do something like idle carrot is pull. And if idle carrot was pull, then the carrot only becomes pull when I idle. What? Oh, no, I need, no, what? No. That carrot is only pull when I'm idle, but that doesn't stop the fact that Bunny is lazy. Duh. Okay. What about text? Ah, if text were pull, then I could pull the text out. Ah, but it looks like this setup prevents me from making that statement because I break it immediately after. Okay. What if I used bird? One, bring in the bird. Oh, what? Oh, tree stops bird, so bird can't go in. Okay. That's unfortunate. I have Nimi here. Why do I have Nimi here? I don't know. Nimi can be nudged. Nimi can be lazy. Ooh, hold on. Ah, right. Nimi is lazy is good. Nimi is lazy is good, but under very specific circumstances. I only want to be lazy when I'm in here. Right, because otherwise I could never push in text to begin with, and that is a problem. Now I want the bird to be the one controlling that. So the bird controls when I'm lazy. And the way I'm gonna do it is have the bird create the statement while I am in that chamber on the right. This calls for idle bird is nudged, so that bird nudges forward only when I command it to. So with that, only when I press space and wait does the bird nudge forward. Otherwise, I'm perfectly fine to do this. Okay. So now I nudge the bird, I'm lazy, I leave, the bird continues nudging and breaks the statement for me. I break all the statements and I get text out. So yeah, now carrot and text is pull, that lets me remove all of this text. And by having bunny be nudge, that should pull the carrot out. Yes, and I will need the bunny to nudge the carrot into me, because otherwise I will not be able to stand on the carrot, because it's pull. Hold on. Jeez. Okay. There you go. Nice level. That one made some pretty cool use of very obscure words in the game. Idle, for one, is very hard to use properly. Like, I've tried to make levels with idle and they have not gone well. So yeah. Alright, level 10, Soko Slip. This one's interesting. Yeah, this one's tough. So ice is ice. Ice not feeling slip is defeat. So if ice were not slip, that means it would then be defeat, like that. So I can only stand on ice when it's slip. If ice were not slip, that would be a problem. I can be lazy. By that, preventing from pushing. That lets me like do stuff like this. So laziness basically implies all push objects become stop. Of course, that's a problem. So instead, what I want, I think, is I want to have some text go over. So text, you go over. I'll come back for you. I will set up Nimi is lazy like so. And so what happens with this is that I'll be lazy for a while. And right about now... hold on. I kind of want to be on the other side, don't I? Yeah, I want to be on the other side. Because now I absolutely cannot move around properly. And then the statement is broken a bit too fast. So I want all of this text to be on the other side, so I can have this entire situation occur in opposite fashion. So I want to move all this text back. Nimi is lazy can be set up similarly like so. I can get back here. And now I want to do this. Wait until I'm about to be lazy. That. Yeah, there you go. That lets me push this down. Alright, cool. And... let's do this. Let's have all the text go back. So with that, we have very easily just retrieve the ISIS-slip text with no cost. Very nice. I don't know if it's good to have brought the ISIS-slip text here. We want to put an is text up there. Oh, by the way, I'm pretty sure this is the level where the clue originally was, back in the old version. The clue actually was here. It's a pretty convoluted route to get the clue from here. And I think like the jankness of the entire solution is what caused Marlo to want to change it. Anyway, we need to get an is text up there. And I think text is lazy is what will help us pull this off. So text is lazy, like how rock is lazy last time, prevents multi-pushing, but does not prevent singular pushing. So I can use that effect. I can start by having ISIS slip. Push a piece of text in, like, I don't know, Nimi text. And then break it when Nimi is in the right spot, like here. And with text is lazy, this text going in needs to be slipped in as well. So I guess I'll have to do something like this. ISIS slip, is text slides in, but does not push the text because it is lazy. So now there you go. Is text is in the right spot. Now obviously I can't push it up because I need to stop there, but I can't get on the ice because it's the feet. I need to do it while it slips. So once again, I think Nimi needs to be lazy. Then maybe okay, well no, I can continue doing this, right? I can make it so that instead of Nimi being lazy, I just have some text be lazy and then text stop there. So like here, if text were lazy here, that would be very nice. Okay. So once again, where do I want the text to be? I guess, you know what? Yeah. No, I need text to be lazy. I need text to be lazy. And I need ice to be slip. So that almost surely requires a cross formation. The cross formation can be in like 2 different places to let me stop here. Okay, hold on. So I can put text wherever I want basically by breaking the slip statement at the right time. So like this is fine, but I think the problem with this is that once this happens, the third piece of text is the one that actually becomes... What? Why doesn't the first 2 pieces of text stop? Is it because they're slipping? They're not pushing, they're slipping forward. Okay. So let's say instead I went here. Do I stop? No, because I slip forward as well. Of course. Yeah, so this is a problem. So how do I make that work? How do I make that work? Actually, I have a better idea. I have a better idea. Let's get all this text on the other side. So all the text on the other side. That worked fine. I can get all the text back out. What if I set it up so that... I need to set it up so that ice is slip. Is it... Does the ice slip have to be vertical? Ugh, how is that gonna work? Text is lazy. Wait, hold on. Sorry. I need a stoppage here. Text is lazy, or ice is slip. But I can't get ice is slip to stay here properly, right? Is that true? Maybe not. I can get the... I can get text to be slip. I don't see how that's useful. Okay, so I can slip text across. I can have it stop here. So if text were lazy here, the problem is that ice doesn't slip. That's hard to manage. I guess maybe, okay, you know what? The second is very useful. I don't want to lose it just yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna retrieve the second is back. I'm sorry, it is too useful to be dumped there right now. I'll dump you back later. Oh, text is ice. Don't do that. Okay. The ice is text is not problem. Okay, so here. Whoa, Nimi is text. Don't do that either. Jeez, a lot of just random rules keep showing up. Alright, this should be fine. So what I want to do here is I just want to have the Nimi text up there. You act as the backstop. I guess, you know, either side is fine. I'm going to put you here because I'm expecting the text to be here as well, and I want that to be the point. So the two is's is good because it lets me make ice is slip and text is lazy, you know, at the same time, you know, separately, so that they I don't know how this works. I mean, text is lazy right now, just lets me move a bunch of stuff across. Like ice is slip can just... Oh, right. Right. Well, I guess we have bigger problems now. Okay. And ice is slip, text is lazy. Again, stoppage has to be here. I mean, if that's the case, then... I still need to get the is back, right. So once again, text can go in. Text can be in the right spot. Then is and lazy can also be in the right spot. That should put all the text in the right spot now. Maybe that's fine? Text is lazy, this is not good. Okay. I can move the Nimi text out. You know what? I think that's good enough to put this here. So, if, at this point, the is text... But how will the is text get there? Like, Nimi cannot be retrieved. I don't need the... I still need the Nimi text, I guess. See, the problem with the text being lazy right now is that I can't push this across anymore. And that's a problem. That's a problem. So this is not what I wanted. I want... What do I want? I want minimal effort. So if I can push text in without ice being slipped, that's also good. Like, for example, you know, pushing in text like this is fine. Yeah, the is doesn't have to be here. I just assumed it so because there's a wall up there. But no, the is can be here. The is can't be there. The is can be here though. The is can't be here because if I pushed it up, there's no way I can push it towards the left. But is can be here. Okay, which means... Okay, if I set up the Nimi to be like here, I guess that will be fine as well. The is can be pushed horizontally. Alright, but there are now other unsolved issues. So once again, Nimi text can be all the way here. So then the lazy text. The lazy text can be here. And then text is can be pushed in. But then ice needs to be slipped for me to survive, and that... So in the end, the cross formation still needs to occur somehow. Yeah, the cross formation still needs to occur. I do think it's ice is slipped vertically. I do think it has to be ice is slipped vertically. But like setting it up here is just very difficult, I think. If I got like ice is slipped, then text is I pushed in lazy, that will honestly be fine as well. But the question is how to get ice is slipped vertically here, I guess. Maybe that's not... Yeah, no, because it has to be. If we assume that this cross formation has to occur, the Nimi text here acts as a buffer, and then the is text here acts as something I can push up. Oh, but like, okay, then upon that occurring, there is another issue. That is, how do I get back to the flag? Maybe that means that text is lazy has to be the vertical one then. Because if ice is slip is vertical, moving across would break it, and then I would die. So text is lazy has to be vertical, ice is slip would be horizontal. Yeah, can I do something like that? Okay, so let's say I did something like that. This would force ice to slip. And yeah, the ice will slip infinitely, of course. Okay. Let's have ice to slip all the way here. How do I want to do this? I want to put ice here. I just want to put that piece of ice there, I think. But the problem is I don't know how. Like, that's interesting. The reason why I want to do that is because if I did in fact do that, then I think the laziness would actually be good. Oh, then in that case, okay, in that case, then there really is no need Oh no, there is a need. Hold on. The need is that I need to stop against something to push is text up. Okay. So I do still think ice slip here is good. I don't know how to pull it off though. Yeah, I don't know how to pull it off. Okay. Is it possible for ice slip to stop against something? I think the answer is yes. Actually, in that case, why is the Nimi text there then? Oh, well, yeah, okay, no. I know why it's there. I know why it's there. But I can put it in later, right? I can use it as buffer text right now for now. I just want ice slip here. Text is lazy. Okay, so here. Then we want Nimi text stop here. Then I want ice slip to go in. And at this moment, at the same time, create text is lazy. Okay, well, I guess in that case, then the statement have to be made up there. So because of the Nimi's presence, the laziness of the text prevents ice from slipping forward. If this Nimi wasn't there, then all three ices would slip forward as per normal, because there'd be nothing stopping each of them. So with that, ice slip is now in place. But there is another problem that is... no, hold on. Cool thing I can do. If text and lazy were already in there in the right positions, ice slip would also form text is lazy at the same time. And what I mean by that is... ice slip... okay, hold on. The lazy needs to be over here. And the text needs to be over here. And the cool thing is, at this exact moment, text is lazy forms, ice slip is broken. Okay. Good. Okay, not good is the fact that I'm on the wrong side. So if I could have done this on the other side with the Nimi text in this position, that would be very nice. I can also break this statement here, for whatever reason. But I don't think that's good. Okay, so to start, we need to put the is in the right spot. That would have to be right above the Nimi. Can I do that? Yes, I can. That is actually really easy to do. So you go up there, you get stopped here. All the text goes over. Alright, so let's go. I want to set this up properly. Okay, I can do that. Actually, the lazy and text can... Jeez. The lazy and the text can be on the other side. So we can start by having lazy here, the usual stuff. Text here. All this can go through. Because text is lazy doesn't stop the text at this point in time, I can go through easily. All of us slips forward without pushing anything. Now all I need to do is push Nimi in. Break it about here. And because we've created this setup, which is symmetrical to what we did just now, the exact same thing can occur. Text is lazy will occur there. Ice slip tries to push against Nimi text, which doesn't exist because text is lazy. I can go in, I can't push because text is lazy, I can push up. If I just win, I break text is lazy, and I win. Wow, that is very cool. Okay. Nice, that's a good level. Do I dare try level 11? I feel like I have already yeah, I'm an hour in. I don't wanna. I mean, you know what? Let's just take a peek. How good or bad is it? Oh, this is fine. I can do this really quick. Alright, I remember the solution to this one. So cloud slide. What you need to know is order of operations here causes power. Because of order of operations, power occurs very late. And that is the key move that I need. So you'll see that if this occurs, I can enter here and then move additionally. I can move text back. I can move text around. Using Nimi's move, I can move this text all the way across, and I think I need to do that. So I'm not gonna like derive any form of thinking, but you can see here, just very quickly a demonstration. When I move forward here, I slide forward with my U movement. Nimi moves with its move movement, and that move moves it back on the cloud with slides. So what happens is it kind of looks like I bounce and then bounce back. And that is a very useful move for me to do later on. So yeah. Alright, let's move all this text back in. Okay. Powered cloud is stop and powered flag is win. We want to create something is power, but we want to be on the opposite side when we do so. So that's where the move comes in. You'll see that if I can walk in here, I can technically go in, come back, and that should be good enough for me to make it in and out. Because power comes out very late, the stopping of the cloud does not take place until after I bounce back. So all I need to do is set it up so that text is lazy. I make Nimi as power like this. I guess text is lazy. Hold on. I think I need the Nimi, so okay. Yeah, okay, hold on. I still need all the text to do stuff for me. I need the setting up to be very good. We're given quite minimal text here. So using Nimi is move, I can shift the U statement up and down. And I want that because what I want is I want text to be lazy. I want me to be able to push this Nimi text forward by 1, but no further. So I need a piece of text here to help block. And I'm planning for that to be this U statement. Like this. Here. Nimi is U and move. And then at the same time text is lazy. Which I can just do like that. So what happens at this point is that when I move forward, I push Nimi forward by 1. Because text is lazy, I don't push any further because multi-push is disabled. I bounce back due to move, I bounce across the slide, Nimi's power takes place, and that will cause a power to occur. There you go. Ta-da! And I'm power on the other side. So yeah, that's what just a peek means, I guess. We just took a peek into the next chamber. Alright, very cool. We're done with this one. And yeah, with that, we are done with this world. I did not want to make this like a 3-episode world because we are so close to the end. I didn't want to end after episode 10, after level 10. I just did level 11 anyway. So with that done, we are moving on to the next world. Hooray! And that one should be right here. So yeah, Fungal Quarry is next. We'll see what that's all about, but that will happen next episode. So until then, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye bye.